creativity is emerging. Immersive and experiential entertainment is flourishing worldwide, submerging visitors into dreamlike landscapes that leave them transformed. As immersive destinations face pent-up demand, global spending on experiences continues to grow and is projected to reach a record $8 trillion in 2022. With increased curiosity and eagerness to consume immersive entertainment, it begs the question: how does this emerging creative industry act as a rising tide, strengthening local and regional economies?
So immersive art, it literally immerses you, it surrounds you in a whole new world that engages both your physical body, but also your mind. And it can be a really transformative experience that goes beyond the two-dimensional world because it appeals to your senses. Immersive art asks the viewer to physically step inside a 360-degree environment and become an active participant in the art. The benefit is that, it allows guests to really connect more deeply with the art, and it leaves a much more lasting impression on them. And a lot of times their interaction actually physically brings the room and the experience to life.
New Mexico has seen its own slice of that building demand with the runaway success of the Santa Fe-based artist collective Meow.
Meow is an arts entertainment company that produces large-scale immersive walkthrough art experiences. But to me, it's more than that. It's a movement. It's a cultural company that stands behind the power of imagination and bringing imagination forth in this world. Before we opened the House of Eternal Return, Meow was a group of artists that were, trying to make a place in the world for ourselves, express the type of creativity and art that we felt was valuable. Operating as as an art collective, operating as an entity that was, really just kind of begging for money and begging for materials was just not sustainable. We did it out of passion for quite some time. But the work suffered and our own lives suffered. We saw an ad about creative startups. It was their inaugural year and we applied. It seemed like the perfect program for us, creative oriented folks who are trying to get into business. We saw that New Mexico is an amazing place, this tremendous place, but there was a need to figure out how to unlock those elements that make it so tremendous. And all these aspects that are sort of hidden under the surface. And what Creative Startups did was it helped Meow elevate that, to the mainstream and to an audience beyond New Mexico, a national audience, an international audience, and really shine a light on the type of things in New Mexico that are so awesome. Since opening the House of Eternal Return, the success has been insane for us. Meow is, I think, at the core of the creative economy in New Mexico. I think where the success that we have showcased proves that it can happen here, also proves that the talent is here. And then with the brand recognition that Meow has around the country, around the world, we can leverage that brand recognition for tourism purposes, but also for the incubation of other types of creative businesses that are sort of using the Meow example and the Meow brand as launching pads.
The ecosystem has been growing stronger every year, with new entrepreneurial initiatives popping up across New Mexico, including the immersive theatre group, the Exodus Ensemble.
We began as an ensemble with a set of values. We didn't know we'd be immersive, but our values were make it as exciting as possible, make it as wild and thrilling as possible, make it the least boring experience possible. The people who've come to see the show are so hungry for live events, and when they get to see the Exodus Ensemble work, which is this sort of high octane live experience, they are losing their damn minds. They are having such a good time. They're having a blast. They're experiencing theater with extraordinary acting in a completely new and extremely activating context. The space is alive. The time is alive. They're seeing people in bathtubs and in Winnebagos, and and in the kitchen and cooking, and it's just this extraordinary experience. I don't think in my life as a director or a theater maker I've ever had the sort of reception that we've had showing this work.
The immersive experience and process, rehearsal and stuff like that, creating immersively, is really beautiful because it feels like we are children and we are playing. And so when people go and see that, you're in constant communication with the audience. Like, we talk to them all the time. We ask them questions like, should I do this? Is this something that I should do? And that's interesting because every time we have an audience, it's always so different. And they also feed into our play. Like, they make our play different every night. And I think that's awesome and exciting for me as a creator as well.
As a general creative economy is strengthened by individual industries, it then ends up strengthening, other opportunities, other possibilities. And I think what we're seeing right now is an environment, a general environment in New Mexico where creativity is valued, and creativity and that value can be tapped by companies or entire industries.
There is a sense of collaboration in New Mexico that is inspiring. It's artists, it's scientists, it's filmmakers, it is sculptors, and I really feel like the creative economy is the perfect fit for New Mexico. And we're seeing it more and more as the industry comes here, and more as people move here or they move back to New Mexico, because now they can make a living here.